Before we dive into this incredible story, take a moment and drop your city or country in the comments. You'll see how far this story reaches. Now, imagine a classroom filled with students and one quiet boy standing at the front, holding a strange-looking box. He whispers, "I built this at home." The teacher bursts out laughing. "You built a robot?" The room fills with snickers and disbelief. Everyone assumes it's a toy or a joke, but no one, not even the teacher, realizes that this small box is about to move in a way that will leave the entire class speechless. What happens next will change everything. Meet Malik Thompson, 13 years old, soft-spoken, and often unnoticed in his school halls. At Lincoln Middle School, teachers rarely call on him, and classmates usually overlook him. On the outside, Malik seems ordinary, quiet, polite, blending into the background. But inside, he has a mind wired for invention, full of curiosity and creativity. While others play games or scroll on their phones, Malik spends his free time thinking about circuits, motors, and coding. He dreams of building things no one else imagines. The quiet boy sitting at the back of the classroom carries a secret. He is about to show the world something that will leave them in awe. Malik lives with his mother, a single parent working late shifts at a diner, doing her best to make ends meet. Money is tight and luxuries are rare, but Malik's determination is endless. Every night, after his mother leaves, he retreats to a corner of their small living room where a hand-me-down laptop hums under his fingers. He studies online tutorials, reads about robotics, and experiments with coding. Sometimes he works until the early hours of the morning, fueled by instant noodles and determination. The world outside might see him as just another quiet student, but he is secretly building something extraordinary. Every discarded gadget, broken toy, and old RC car he finds becomes a piece of his growing project. No one knows what he is preparing, but each late night brings him closer to a reveal that will shock everyone. Malik scavenged broken electronics from neighbors, old toys from thrift stores, and even a discarded RC car kit from the school's lost and found. In his tiny workspace, he soldered wires, connected circuits, and carefully programmed motion commands. Sometimes the motors wouldn't work. Sometimes the code failed. Fatigue and frustration tested his patience, but Malik refused to give up. He worked in secret, hiding his robot from classmates and teachers alike. The box in front of him began to hum softly as he connected the last wires. Tiny LEDs blinked like stars on a night sky. Step by step, piece by piece, the robot slowly took shape. Each challenge Malik overcame built not just the machine but his confidence. By the time he finished, the robot was more than just metal and wires. It was a creation designed to move, react, and surprise anyone who saw it. The day of the science fair arrived. Malik carried his bulky box to class, careful not to jostle the wires or blinking lights inside. As he walked past rows of classmates, whispers and sideways glances followed him. "What's in the box?" someone asked. The teacher, curious but skeptical, raised an eyebrow. "You really brought that thing here?" A few students snickered, already assuming the project was a joke. Malik's heart pounded, but he stayed calm. He placed the box gently on the floor at the front of the room. Everyone stared. Suspense filled the air. Would the robot work, or would Malik's months of secret effort crumble in front of the entire class? Everyone waited, holding their breath. When it was Malik's turn, he cleared his throat. "I built a walking robot," he announced quietly. The laughter came instantly. "A walking robot? You?" One student snickered. The teacher chuckled, shaking his head. Snickers echoed across the classroom. Malik's cheeks flushed, but he didn't falter. He looked down at the box, then back at the audience, silently saying, "Just watch." The laughter made the moment even more tense. The classroom assumed this was a toy, a simple gimmick, and the joke would end in seconds. But Malik's hands were steady as he reached into his backpack for the remote control. The tension grew. Everyone leaned forward, unsure what would happen next. No one expected what they were about to see. Malik pressed the switch. At first, the box remained still. Then faint whirring sounds emerged. Tiny motors hummed, gears clicked, and the legs slowly unfolded. Red and green lights blinked across its body. The class gasped. Phones appeared as students scrambled to capture the moment. The robot wobbled, balanced itself, and took its first unsteady step. Another step, and then another. The mechanical creature moved with surprising coordination, sensors adjusting its balance as it walked across the room. The teacher's mouth fell open, eyes wide with disbelief. The same students who had laughed just moments ago were now silent, frozen in awe. Malik's robot waved a mechanical arm, perfectly timed with a press of the button. A silence hung in the room, thicker than anyone had expected. In that instant, every doubt, every laugh, every underestimation vanished. Malik had transformed skepticism into astonishment. The teacher stumbled back, eyes wide, unable to believe what he was seeing. Silence fell over the classroom as every student froze, mouths open, hearts racing. The robot didn't just move, it walked steadily, its legs bending and sensors adjusting as it glided across the floor. Then, as if on cue, it raised a mechanical arm and waved toward the teacher. Gasps filled the room. The same classmates who laughed moments ago now stared in awe, phones out, recording every second. Malik stood quietly, watching his creation perform exactly as he had envisioned. The laughter, the mockery, the doubt, all of it vanished in a heartbeat. In that single breathtaking moment, he had proved them all wrong. Every snicker, every skeptical glance, every raised eyebrow was replaced by astonishment. The quiet boy at the back of the class had become the center of everyone's attention. Later that day, Malik was called to the principal's office, not for punishment, but for congratulations. Word had spread quickly. Teachers, students, and even school administrators were impressed by his ingenuity. A local tech company reached out, inviting him to tour their robotics lab. Members of the school board, including MIT alumni, offered mentorship opportunities. The teacher who had laughed at him now stood silently, eyes lowered. "Malik, I misjudged you," he admitted. Malik looked at him calmly and simply replied, "I know." For years he had been underestimated and overlooked, but now the underdog had finally been seen. His months of late nights, sacrifices, and quiet determination had paid off. In that moment, recognition was not just about praise. It was the validation of talent that refused to be ignored. Malik's story reminds us that talent and hard work don't need permission. They only need a chance. Quiet determination, patience, and focus can create moments that leave others in awe. For Malik, it wasn't about proving anyone wrong. It was about following his curiosity and passion, even when no one noticed. His confidence was silent but unshakable, and his achievement demonstrated that brilliance isn't defined by appearances, background, or expectations. The robot walking across the classroom was more than a science fair project. It was a statement. It showed that underestimation doesn't limit potential, and perseverance can break through the strongest doubts. Every student has the capacity to create, innovate, and inspire. Sometimes they just need one opportunity to show the world what they can do. Malik's story teaches us to notice, support, and believe in those hidden talents around us. Today, Malik's robot sits proudly in a glass case at Lincoln Middle School, a permanent reminder of creativity, persistence, and courage. A small plaque reads, "Built by a boy who refused to be ignored." He didn't just build a machine, he created a moment of truth. Students passing by pause to admire it, inspired to tinker, experiment, and pursue their own ideas. Teachers often tell the story of Malik's triumph to encourage curiosity and persistence. His story sparks reflection. How many other Maliks are out there, quietly inventing in their rooms, waiting for someone to notice? How many hidden talents go unseen simply because no one took the time to look? Malik's legacy is not just a robot. It's a challenge to all of us to notice potential, offer opportunities, and believe in students whose brilliance might be hidden from plain sight. Now, it's your turn. Drop your city or country in the comments and share this story so others can be inspired. Remember, every child deserves a chance to be seen, to show what they're capable of, and to be believed in. Malik didn't need applause or validation. He only needed one opportunity to let his creativity shine. His story reminds us all, talent can appear in the most unexpected places, and brilliance has no color, background, or limitations. So the next time someone surprises you with their ideas, don't laugh, watch, listen, and support. Will we laugh, or will we watch until it walks across the room? Every student deserves to be seen,